Listen up, get ready, I'm not gonna take no more. There's a revolution, a revelation going on in my soul. Buckle up, get ready, we're not gonna say.
Hey everybody, welcome back to more Live from the Heartland. I'm still Michael James up here in the 49th Ward. And speaking of the 49th Ward, we've got an opportunity now to talk to someone from our neighborhood who has moved to France. And we were in touch with each other recently, and we thought it'd be good to get a little bit of a European report focusing on France. And when we first started talking about this was around May Day. So we thought we'd do a little bit on May Day. Now it's a few weeks gone, or actually a week so far when we're recording, but we still have the one and only Michael O'Toole. Many of you may remember him from hanging around the Heartland Cafe, the No Exit Cafe, Flats and Sharp Music. And he's been over in France for a while. And I said, come on, Michael, give us a report. So hello there, Michael O'Toole.
Hello, Michael James. It's nice to be coming back home from here in the Charente-Maritime. So I'll just give you a little background on the part of France I'm in. So I live in the Charente-Maritime region of France, and it's one of about 12 départements, like states, that make up the Nouvelle-Aquitaine. So that's bordered by Spain to the south and the Atlantic Ocean on our west. And we live on the right bank of the Gironde estuary. And that's the biggest river estuary in Europe. And about 20 kilometers north of us, it flows into the Atlantic Ocean near a city called Royan. And we're in wine country, sunflower, wheat, farming. It's a very rural area right where we are, very conservative area overall. And a lot of the grape harvest here goes to making cognac. And the city of Cognac is just about an hour drive, hour and 15-minute drive. Haven't made it to Cognac yet, but we plan to. It's also a very big vacation area from about May through September, and also a big retirement area. So what you end up with is a big mix of people. You've got the rural people that have always lived here, are often very conservative. And then you've got people who have moved from all over France. A lot of people from Belgium, from other parts of the world too, but largely French people that have retired down here. And there was a lot of house buying during COVID. A lot of people, moving to the country because now they could work, from home like we are right now on Zoom. So it's a kind of a diverse range of people in economically rural versus urban. A lot of different dialects are spoken here of French. Some are easy to understand, some aren't. And there's a wide range of political views as well.
Well, what happened on May Day over there? Did any
Okay, so I'll tell you what happened on May Day.
Talking about how it's a conservative area.
Well, it is.
May Day action?
I'll tell you what happened. So our plan on May Day, May 1st, was to go to the rally in the city of Royan, which is about 20 kilometers north of us. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate. We had heavy fog, and there were reports of some possible flooding along our route. So we had heard the day before that there would be some kind of a May Day gathering in our town, Barzan, Barzan. So knowing it's kind of a conservative little town, I didn't think we'd be singing the Internationale, but I also didn't think I'd be going to a garlic tasting. So we go to the town thing, and apparently, around the rest of France, on May 1st, people hand out little bouquets of lilies of the valley, the muguet, okay? Apparently, in the Charente-Maritime, we do things differently. We get together, we eat the green garlic. I think they call them ramps. And we eat the green garlic, and we have a little pate and some camembert, and we chat with the neighbors, who are mostly, pretty. We're the young. I'm 67. I'm one of the young kids here in this town. So right. So anyway, that was all great. And apparently, there's a saying that if you have a sprig of garlic in the hand on May 1st, you'll have money all year. So it's a great little tradition, and the garlic was good. So by the time we finished the garlic and the pate and everything, we got in the car, we go up to Royan, we go to the Place Charles de Gaulle. Nothing. It's like nothing had happened. And this was where the rally would have been. So I came back here to the house, and started looking in the English language and French language press to find out what had happened in Bordeaux. Bordeaux is the biggest city near us. It's about 90 minutes south, and it's a good size. The urban region is a little over 1 million people, so it's got all the big city wonders and a lot of the big city problems as well. So this year, according to Sud-West, which is a regional paper, attendance was really low compared to last year. The unions estimated about 4,000 people marched in Bordeaux, compared with 130,000 last year. And the police, of course, reduced that number from 4,000 to 1,800. Last year they said there were only 12,000 people, and you know how that works, right? The organizers have got one number, and then the powers of order, the forces of order, start squashing that number down. You're familiar with that. So it's hard to say really where that was. But the thing was, it really had dropped off this year, not just because of weather, but last year people were marching against the reform of the retirement system. And that was a very big issue last year. It made a lot of the press in the US. And eventually what happened was the government pushed it through under a constitutional maneuver called 49.3, which they have used before. And people were very unhappy about that. This year, the marching was mostly anti-capitalist, anti-austerity, anti-war. There were a number of pro-Palestinian groups. There were also a lot of people asking equal pay for women. That's still a big issue here that's not been resolved. And so the crowds were out. They did a nice march. They ended up, they marched through the center of Bordeaux. And it's very festive. It's a great festive thing. There's floats, there's music, there's people dancing, banging on things. A lot of these are, a lot of these are sponsored by the CGT, the CGT, which is the Confédération Générale du Travail, which had always been very closely associated with the Communist Party in France. And they run these, they mastermind these great rallies all over the country. Like I say, music, floats. There's a group of women called the Rosies, as in Rosie the Riveter, that do some very fun and very biting satirical dance routines and musical numbers. So they were there this year, and it was a great event. And a lot of these will end up with a barbecue at the end of the day. So in any case, there were about 265 marches around France, according to the CGT, and about 200,000 demonstrators total, 50,000 in Paris. There were some clashes. There were probably 25 arrests in Paris. And a lot of, people were, even though inflation has come down since a peak in 22 and 23, prices haven't come down and people are feeling very squeezed. So there was a lot of anti-austerity, protesting, and people also asking, why is the government spending money on the Olympics when we're getting screwed here? So
give us an Olympic report, because
that's it.
Wait to watch them.
Oh, I can't wait either. And we get them all on free TV here, so it'll be good so long as the antenna's working. Well, what the Olympic report is, there's widespread reporting of possible labor disruptions. Workers in a lot of sectors have threatened to strike. Transportation and garbage workers in Paris have already filed to strike. A number of other people are talking about striking. Police union is even talking about chasing down and extinguishing the Olympic flame. And there's a lot of call for that. People want to, they're going to need some security around the race with the flame, which I think starts in Marseille. Not sure on that, but there's a lot of rhetoric out there. It's hard to say what'll happen before that. But in the meantime, the European parliamentary elections are coming up in June, and the far right, the Rassemblement National, which used to be the National Front here, it's now the RN, is at 31% in voter intentions.
These are the bad guys.
Yeah, these are the bad guys.
Right.
Yeah, these are the guys we don't like so much. So Macron's party is only polling at 16%. The socialists are polling at 13%. And the rest is made up of parties on the right and the left that are 7% or under. The communists are only polling at 3 right now. So the left is in a lot of trouble. It looks like there's going to be kind of a sweep Europe wide, not a sweep of the entire parliament, but they're going to really increase their seats. The far right from Germany, Italy, France, everywhere. So that's something to really watch out for. Be happy to keep up on that.
Yeah, we'll check in with
Oh,
you again. Now let's bring it back to Chicago because one of
yeah,
the things that you and I have talked about over time is the union at
at the
the
Old Town
town
School of
school.
Old Town School. Well, we're doing good. This month we're having a teaching artist celebration month, and we're inviting everyone to participate on the faculty, whether they're a union member or not. We're hoping to add some members. We've got a number of events going on. They're mostly limited to faculty. Admin is invited to these. The board is invited to these. Uh, there will be something Friday, May 10th, which I guess will be after. Well, this will be seen after that. There aren't some dates fixed for other things, but we're rolling along well. We're also happy to have, we've helped out some other people that have organized in Chicago. We were helping a bit with Second City, who's now got their contract in January. They are the what are they? Oh yeah, they are the Association of International Comedy Educators, and they also went with the Illinois Federation of Teachers, like we did. Um, I heard you talking about CTU
With an
before.
earlier guest, yeah.
Yeah, with an earlier guest. And so that's which is IFT is CTU is part of IFT and it's also part of the American Federation of Teachers. So we're doing well. We're doing well. We're strong. We've got a good membership. We've got a lot going on. We're trying to really get people fired up about joining committees and getting more work done. We're all volunteers,
Well,
all of us. It's funny trying to be the union secretary from 5,000 miles away, but
Mike, we're going to check in with you
do the best
regularly
we
because
can.
you give a great
That would be nice.
you give a good report, and we're really glad to have you as our correspondent over there for Live from the Heartland in France.